Hey Spuddies, Potato Whiskey here, and welcome to The Valiant. The Valiant is a RTS strategy game. It's really fun. I actually quite enjoy it, and I luckily managed to get sponsored by the creators, or the publishers, THQ Nordic. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring the video. There will be links in the description, everything you need to check out the game. But I'm going to go ahead and show you this game because I actually quite like it. It's quite rare for me to take a sponsorship, so when I usually do, I try to highlight really genuinely good games. And The Valiant, in my opinion, kind of restores a little bit of my faith in the RTS genre. I grew up on the RTS genre, and there was kind of a lack of games in that space for a long time. And then this game was completely off my radar. I got an email about it and I was like, okay, let me try your game. And I was like, you know what? This game is great. So basically it's an RTS game. It kind of plays a little bit similar to a medieval version of maybe Company of Heroes, stuff like that. It's very much so a sort of management of unit abilities and positioning and unit counters and stuff like that. There is a huge campaign. I've played, I think I want to say about 4 out of the 16 missions, so that's a pretty big campaign. There's also competitive multiplayer and a very fun last man standing mode that I play, where you can like level up your hero and you can give them new abilities and play part of the thing. You know, it's quite fun to play. I've played a game of the last man standing mode. That would be a great game to play with your friends if you find a couple of people to play this game with. I haven't been able to really try out the competitive multiplayer game because I don't really play RTS games for the competitive multiplayer. I'm all about that campaign, and let me tell you, this is actually a pretty good campaign. I'm about 4 missions in, which is about like a quarter of the campaign, which is where I was like, okay, I feel like this is a decent enough game that I can talk about it, maybe promote it, and show it off to my audience. So the basic gist of it is, the story is, it's kind of a Christian thing. You find like relics, and then there's like consequences. These relics have effects on one of the people who gets it, and then the story is sort of, we're getting to the point now where we're coming to one of our biggest confrontations, at least in the early part of the story, where we actually meet up and confront like what's been happening in behind the scenes. We basically find an old holy relic, but it's been broken, so it corrupts people who hold it, and that guy went on like a rampage, and we're trying to like, you know, deal with the consequences of that. But each and every mission in this game is rather large. Like, I'm talking like somewhere between like 25 and 30 minutes you're going to play these missions, and they unfold like origami. There's like multiple stages to the missions, all that really cool stuff. The graphics are wonderful. The presentation of this game is amazing. I really enjoy it. And you could play hard, you can play medium, easy. You can also add additional difficulty modifiers, like your units won't regenerate. But I'm going to go ahead and just jump into this mission here, and I'm going to try to explain what's going on. There is a really well told, really nicely done cinematic story, mostly told through, I guess I don't know what the word is, but they're still image cutscenes that are like animated. They're really cool. It's a style of animation that I really enjoy. So at the start of missions, once you get a little bit into the campaign, you're actually able to customize and level up your heroes. So for example, I have Theodoric here, and I've kind of pushed him in the defensive direction, and you can actually find gear in the missions that you can equip to your heroes. You can see here I've got like Axeman's Chainmail, which will give him extra vengeance generation. Vengeance is an ability that we'll talk about a little bit later, but like I could go, hey, why don't you take the Heretic Sword? This will give you the devotion ability. Right now I have him with the Mace of the Fallen, which does a little bit more damage and gives him the ability to do a knockdown. I actually kind of prefer the devotion ability, so I'm going to do that. That's kind of a more fun one. I've kind of built this guy as a devotion based defensive character. I'm going to get the Banner of Fraternity here, which will give my units some defensive bonuses, right? And there's an offensive tree, a defensive tree, a utility tree. It has a bunch of different effects. I'm not going to worry about explaining what all of these things do, but just know that like it'll give your heroes new abilities. And like I have Gascon here. This guy's like a cavalry guy, so he's like really good on the offense. So maybe I will give him some offensive abilities. So like Gascon is really offensive, or and I've got Conrad, who's like an archer hero. I've got him like leveling utility because his spells are quite expensive and he doesn't regenerate that much, so making his spells cheaper, all that sort of stuff. Really cool stuff. Let's go ahead and just jump into the mission. You get to bring a couple of squads with you. I usually bring a spearman because I find spearmen are quite good, but otherwise I have one of everything else. Swordsmen are really good for holding the line, but I would say bringing in extra cavalry could be really handy because they have some really powerful abilities. Although, you know, I don't have a dedicated swordsman anymore, so I'll take a swordsman and a spearman, and that'll be the unit loadout I take with me. Every unit has an effectiveness against other units. They have stats, they have counter abilities, they have special abilities, they interact with each other in really interesting and unique ways.
Looks like we're late. The smoke. They are burning homesteads.
Perhaps we can still save the castle. If we are to aid Lord Reinhardt, we must act right away.
Lord, someone's coming.
Wait, it's not the enemy. They bear the colours of Kempton.
Are ye friend or foe?
We are not here with the Crusaders. Quite the contrary, we've come to your lord's aid.
Lord Reinhardt is indeed beleaguered, aye. But Kempton's walls are yet to fall. Our small force got stranded outside the castle, but decided to rescue the peasants from the marauders, Lord.
Good men. We shall accompany you. We must pray that Lord Reinhardt can hold out a while longer.
As you say, Lord. These bloody marauders are torturing the villagers all around the territory this side of the river.
We'll find as many as we can.
So hopefully that little bit of a cutscene kind of give you an idea of how the story is told. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Warcraft 3, right? Not exactly, right? But where the storyline was told quite often in the actual in-game engine, which is really, really cool. And I quite enjoy that. We have our squads here. We have a new type of unit here that I've never encountered before. Which is like this axeman. But you can see here, this spearman, they have special abilities. Like these spearmen can throw spears to stop others from charging, and then they got stunned, and it also reduced their vigor, so they can't regenerate vigor. And they're trying to like run away right now, but I can go ahead and use my archer ability that like, you know, slows them down, it snares them. There's all sorts of really cool stuff to do. One thing that I really like about this game is units actually have 2 health bars. That white health bar is their vigor, and then the blue health bar is their health. And if you run out of vigor, you start taking damage to your health. And if you run out of health, your unit dies. So it kind of, it's something I really, really enjoy in that like your units get tired in battle and then you have to like take them out and rest them. And then that's how they like do the majority of their regeneration. And that's how they take the majority of their damage. So we're setting up for a fight here. These are swordsmen. They're really, really, they're quite tanky, but they don't do a lot of damage. So they're good at holding the line. Cavalry units have a charge ability, which is really, really good against archers. The spearmen, spear, throw, javelin actually counters that. And then spearmen themselves are just good counters to cavalry. So like the unit counters are kind of as you would expect. So what I might do, actually, I don't know what axe infantry are good at. So it seems like they have relatively low fortitude. What are your abilities? I guess it's just like a tanky frontliner. Let's bring our 3 infantry. And oh, there's a whole like order system. Like you can, if you just right click and hold it down, they'll like in their position, you can rotate their facing. But then if you drag your mouse slightly further out, you can like choose new formations. You can go into a line formation. So it has a really smooth and fluid control UI that I really, really enjoy. Like let's say I wanted to do exactly like you guys here, you here, and then I want you here. And I want them to hold this formation. If I hold right click and then just don't move my mouse, I can move them and choose their facing and they'll stay in this formation. So there's a lot of really, really cool. It's just really, 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 really well done, the UI and stuff like that. So what I tend to find I like to do is to open my fights with my archer volleys. Now I do have howling projectiles, which prevent my enemies from using their abilities. But I feel like if I just throw this right there on these 2, and then I have my spearmen ready to intercept the cavalry, like this. Okay, cavalry have been snared, and then the battle is unfolding. So that's like a pretty good initiate in my opinion. Now, spearmen have an extra yellow bar, and there's a little bit of money that we can use to buy more units. Spearmen have a yellow bar, which basically means for the first like little bit of the combat, they will do extra damage until this depletes, and then they get like, it's basically like a charge bonus for spearmen. So I have a devotion ability here, and what that will do is essentially it's a vigor heal. So it restores the white health bar. It doesn't restore other actual health though. So we've got a spearman. Let's get this guy to counter charge. Units will charge into each other, and then if a unit is charging into a unit that is not charging, it will do bonus damage, I'm pretty sure, especially if you like hit it in the back that it's like engaged. Let's go ahead and insult this guy, and because we've insulted him, these guys should regenerate vigor in combat. Let's go ahead and pull you out of combat so your yellow recharges. So yeah, it's constantly about like, oh, you gotta like cycle your units out and then like try to get positioning charges. Let's try to snare these guys. Okay, it didn't work. But yeah, and there's like a really, really good like UI tutorial. There's a whole bunch of like elite squads and talking about all their stuff. Their bloodlust ability grants damage they deal. Oh, so they basically, these guys gain damage the longer they're in combat. But you can see here, they're actually regenerating fortitude over time. Yeah, so this is a lot of like really, really cool features, really neat mechanics in this game that I really, really enjoy. And that's why I chose to like show off a sponsorship. Like I was like, hell yeah, dude, I want to show off a good game. And I definitely feel like, you know, as a person who used to grow up like playing a lot of RTS games, I feel like there's been like a real lack of just solid RTS games for a very long time. There's also brush mechanics, so like you can hide units in the brush. Like let me go ahead, you can see they have that little eye symbol over them. That means they can't be spotted, or they're not spotted. Doesn't mean they can't be spotted, it just means they're not seen right now. And if you can get the drop on an enemy unit and charge out of the brush at them, they usually get stunned or take some sort of negative effect. So let's go ahead and use our AoE here. You need a little bit of vigor and then a defensive flag here. Let's get these guys to charge into the back. You can see the huge chunk of damage the enemy unit there took by getting rear charged. Let's throw spears into the back of this unit if we can. Yeah, that'll massively hurt them. And we want to keep the archers engaged in melee to prevent them from doing things. Now, archers are an interesting unit because they actually do more damage to units that don't have any vigor. They also have retribution abilities. All of your heroes have a retribution ability. For most of your melee units, it's going to be just like an AoE damage like that. And for your oh yeah, and these guys have a stun, so I just stunned that infantry. You can see that padlock means they're stunned. So yeah, every unit has like a variety of abilities, a variety of things they can do. Units will automatically charge. It's just a really solid game. I'm pretty sure these guys, if you pull them out of combat, they'll basically immediately start regenerating vigor really quickly. Yeah, you can see the vigor is just shooting up when you compare it to the vigor regeneration of this guy. So yeah, every unit has like a particular role, a particular play style, and you could like choose which units you bring with you on the campaign, which I really enjoy. And the mission design is also really nice. You can see like I went up here to the right, but I could have easily just gone to the left. Like every single mission is designed like this, where you can actually like totally just go the way that feels the most natural to you. And I chose to go right today, but maybe a different player would have gone left and it would have been equally valid. I really enjoy the non-linear nature of the missions. I'm trying to remember how I rotate my camera. Oh, there it is, middle click. Yeah, it's just a really damn solid RTS game, and it completely deserves way more attention. Can we get the spear throw on these guys to stun them? Okay, perfect. We got the spear throw. Okay, we've been ambushed, which is unfortunate. I need to get my guys engaged. These guys are taking a bit of damage. Let's drop the defensive flag and the heal. My spearmen are beating their spearmen because we got really good solid initiation. Let's see if we can take out their archers. Go ahead and charge their archers. Archers are really vulnerable to melee. That's why I'm keeping my own archers really far back. It's very intuitive, the game mechanics, I would say. And there's so many abilities. But what I really like about this game is you often only have like 4 or 5 units to worry about. So you only have so much micro that you have to do. Whereas I feel like in a lot of RTS games, I feel like it's just medieval company of heroes, right? It's that kind of gameplay style. I think a lot of people would really appreciate that and really enjoy that. Okay, we didn't quite get the kill there. So you have to rescue captured civilians. Oh, right. I didn't actually talk about what these are. This is a reinforcement camp. If your unit actually takes health damage, you can come here and heal. And if you lose a unit completely, you can recruit them. You have a little bit of cash. Wood is used to build defensive structures. This is not a defensive thing. This is not... I'm really not... Oh, looks like there's the objective, right? There's a couple of people over here that we got to go save. So let's go do that. Now, one thing that is worth considering is that we're approaching from the angle that they actually have their defensive buildings. So I'm going to do that anyway. Yeah, but you can find items from fighting. I'm pretty sure there's like technically bonus objectives, right? If you do certain things with your heroes. And it's just a really... Like, this game took me by surprise. I was not expecting it to be this good. And it's a really pleasant surprise. I'm expecting archers and that. Okay, spearmen up there is an interesting choice by them. All right, let's AoE them. Let's get the charge on those archers if we can. Okay, that's huge. We got the archers engaged. They're retreating to heal. Now, I don't want to have my spearmen in the thick of it for long, but I think, yeah, so now I need to get my spearmen out because they're in a little bit of a situation. Let's go ahead and do some AoE stuff. Throw my spear ability, shunk, and then charge them in the back. I need to get them a little bit further away. I don't know if there's like a cooldown on charge. I think there is. But definitely if you're like familiar with like Warhammer and you're familiar with the concept of cycle charging is absolutely worth doing in this game. So like here's a cycle charge. Boom, big chunk of damage. These guys, I'm going to pull them out and do a cycle charge with them. So there's plenty for you to do in this game, in a battle. And the game has relatively straightforward, relatively simple micro. You could do just a little bit of unit manipulation. Also, I want to take my enemies out of this purple area because that's actually healing them, because this is a healing unit. It's like a paladin or whatever. And I want to start making sure I'm using my vengeance abilities to get my AoE damage in. And I also need to go ahead and contest this reinforcement flag because he's trying to retreat to heal. So there's like a decent amount to take care of in a battle, but it's not overwhelming. And I feel like a lot of RTS games, they make the game mechanics are very overwhelming. When you have like masses of units. But I definitely feel like this game is super really solid, super straightforward in the micro that's required. So we saved some villagers, we get another loot item. Did I forget to save villagers down here? No, I didn't see villagers. What was that? I'm pretty sure there used to be more flags on the map, but I don't know what's happened. There's also forests. Forests have a variety of effects. Units move slower. You take less range damage. You can't use charge abilities in forest. So I'm going to hopefully see if I can get a charge attack here to show off the... Yeah, there you go. That's the stealth mechanic. Like when you catch someone off guard, they get stunned and rooted for a little bit of time, which is like a really cool game mechanic. I like that. It's kind of cute. Okay, let's try and prevent the charge here. Okay, we missed. That's okay. You guys are getting hurt. Go ahead and taunt. Drop the defensive flag, heal as well. Let's get some AoE going. We got a big fight in the mid here. Another defensive flag, do it. Everyone stand on their ground. Do this. My spearmen need to be pulled out. Go ahead and use vengeance. We got to clear out these spearmen real quick. Units can fight multiple units. These guys are like fully charged up, doing tons of damage. I need to use this ability again on them. You're getting a little bit hurt. I need to pull my spearmen out. I need to pull my units a little bit closer together so I can benefit from the heal on multiple units. Okay, I totally missed that. I whiffed it. We're having a little bit of trouble. Defensive flag. I don't want to take actual damage on my hero. Boom. My spearmen are getting whacked. Go ahead and press the retreat button on my spearmen to get them to run away. Retreat these guys. We're just going to do a retreat, a general retreat. Taunt these guys and tank them. So we're doing a general retreat because then we run back to our reinforcement flag, right? Retreat is basically a button to tell your unit to get out of the fight and stay alive. And your unit will generally run towards a reinforcement flag. So like I probably shouldn't have clicked that there. Basically, it's a way to tell your unit, hey, get out of dodge. And then we can come in here and get regenerated up. But we did a pretty good job fighting here, I think, considering how outnumbered we were. And if I wanted to, I could go ahead and disband my spearmen here and replace them with a squad that maybe I thought like, oh, you know what, I could use another melee squad or something, or I could use another archer squad. Let's get a charge off. Boom. I want you to pull off now and loop around. Charge them in the back if you can. Can you get a spear throw? Oh, you missed the route. But yeah, it's quite tough to like finish off. They're definitely using more advanced tactics in this mission. In previous missions, they would fight to the death, but now they're like retreating and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So let's see if we can get a good fight here. There we go. It's going well. These guys are almost out of health. Oh, we need to make sure our archers don't get surrounded. Keep you guys there. My archers are getting charged. Let's bring my own spearmen off to deal with that. Counter-charging, and then use the archers to help defend. Do a little healing. We got their spearmen dealt with. So you want your archers to attack people who have low vigor. I'm going to keep my spearmen out of the fight so they can regenerate this. This bar makes them do like nearly triple damage. So you want to have this replenished before you fight. Like their spearmen are like a third or even a fourth as effective as they should be. Let's go ahead and get a charge here. Boom, big damage. Well, reasonable damage. You're taking a bit of damage. Let's go ahead and get you to retreat back here. Oh, we found some captives. Cool. Let's keep the healing going. You don't need to go back here. We're about to capture this flag. So we regen these guys up. Let's go ahead and save these peasants and pick up our loot. Alrighty, there's the peasants saved. And we got to go ahead and go to the next objective, which is all the way over here. There's a couple of defensive towers here. I'm expecting there to maybe be some peasants here. I thought I would have cavalry with me this mission. And I kind of wish I did have cavalry. Cavalry are super, super good. Oh, I wasn't paying attention and we got attacked. I do really appreciate that enemy units actually try to retreat now, and that if you don't kill them, you have to fight them later. I like that game mechanic. It like makes cavalry really, really useful for running units down, which wasn't really super relevant in the previous mission. So even now, as I'm just getting into the campaign, like new mechanics are evolving and new gameplay stuff, new considerations are coming out. Let's go ahead and open with the volley, and then we'll charge with our heavy infantry to hold the front line. And then we'll charge with our DPS infantry on the light infantry. And then let's throw our spear ability to stun a little. Go ahead and do more AoE. Go ahead and taunt them. Get a little bit of healing, defensive flag. You focus fire the low health units. Go ahead and use your special ability. I want to try to clear out the spearmen first. These are like probably the easiest units for me to kill. So by focusing them out, I reduce the total DPS and the total health that's on the enemy at enemy disposal. You guys are taking a little bit too much damage. Let's play the defensive flag and get everyone grouped. So this defensive flag, it will like make it so that all of my units share vigor with each other, and then if I heal them, they'll all like completely grow their health really, really quickly. So the defensive flag on this guy, the Banner of Fraternity, is a super, super effective way to keep all your units alive. Which I should have been using more effectively. It's kind of hard to play the game and talk about it at the same time. I feel like I was doing much better previously when I didn't have to like describe what I was doing and why. So yeah, like if I use Retribution here, basically Retribution is like rage. Your units will generate rage from fighting, either hitting or taking damage, and then you can use that to activate a special ability. Yeah, fairly straightforward. Alright, we dealt with this, grab that loot, and looks like there's some kind of unit over here. It's a spearman. Let's volley him so he gets slowed while we capture this. And then we will go ahead and throw spears at him. Boom, boom, and then we will charge him. And this is how you complete this. Wait, are you not going to do a charge? Hold on. You do a charge. Okay, we should be able to catch him. Use your fire arrows, maybe? Would that do it? Not quite. Okay, so we know where they're running to at least. But were there peasants over here that I just forgot to save? That might have actually happened. Hold on. Did I just forget to release some peasants earlier? I think so. Whoops. Oh no, there's some. Oh, watch out for that cavalry. Don't get charged. So there's like a little bit of micro, right? You got to do a little bit of micro to dodge cavalry charges. And then you got to charge them with spearmen. Again, like it's not like super difficult micro, but it is micro. Let's go ahead and do a heal and then a defensive flag. I don't like this. I need to get this guy off my archers. Let's focus down their archers. That's what my archers are quite good at doing. I sent you guys the wrong way. Come rejoin. Let's do a defensive flag and get grouped back up. And then we do an AoE heal. Bring everyone's health nice and high. You go ahead and charge those archers there. So we just need to get these guys done. I don't know. I feel like I'm very, very early into the game because a lot of these units I actually don't know what they do. So I'm kind of excited to figure out what they do. Go ahead. Oh, we're getting charged in the back. That's okay. I need to wait for my spearmen to regenerate a little bit of their fortitude and a little bit of their yellow bar. I want you to charge these infantry in the back. There you go. Perfect. Go ahead and join up with these troops here so you can get healed. AoE healing. Hit all three of them. Boom. Refill that fortitude. One thing I like about this game is that the combat happens relatively slowly, which is, you know, quite nice. Now, things can happen quite quickly when you build up a lot of, like, retribution. You can, like, obliterate units. Like, boof. If you're using your abilities correctly, you can make combat go really quickly. But if you're not, like, amazing at the game, like me, combat unfolds fairly slowly. You have plenty of time to react to things and plenty of time to micro. Okay, so we got to go ahead and cross the river now. We've saved some civilians. Looks like this little castle is under siege, or it has already been taken. Or maybe it's the keep. I don't know. The bailey has been taken and is the keep that is under siege. So we're here to try to liberate, or try to, not rescue, be a relief force. So let's have a little think about how we want to approach this fight. Let's go ahead and start with the volley in between those two. We do this volley and then we do a full charge. I'm going to get you to charge these guys. Do ahead and spear attack them. Perfect. Can you go around the back of these guys and get a nice charge off? So I'm not entirely sure what dictates whether or not a unit can charge. That's like something I haven't quite figured out yet. Sometimes units charge like instantly from like 5 feet away. Sometimes they just refuse. But I think that's something that'll just come intuitively as you play the game a little bit more. Oh, so here are special items that I can pick up. These are throwing axes that I basically give my hero, or any unit in fact. Any unit can pick them up, but they will get a special ability. I would always say this, hey, it's almost never a good idea to sally out of your fortress. It is a fortress for a reason. It keeps you safe. So we have to try and rescue this guy. Let's go ahead and get our archer to do a volley here. So what we need to do is we need to just get in there because we have special defensive abilities that allow us to share health with our allies and to massively heal everyone. So how are things going? Things are going okay. I could drop another defensive flag. That's looking okay. I think they're retreating, or at least they're trying to get healed. Let's do another AoE attack. That seems to be relatively effective. And then do a little healo. Yeah, the AoE, like the shared vigor plus the heal is actually like super, super effective. Okay, go ahead and make sure you taunt him so you start regenerating vigor from combat. You do this to reduce their health. Charge them in the back if you can. Perfect. Then you can get out of combat for a minute. So you take a little bit less damage. Capture this. Grab this loot. Okay, the fight is going really, really well for us. Let's get into there. I think we'll share vigor between all of our units. Sharing vigor and then healing vigor is like a super, super powerful combo in my opinion. Let's go ahead and throw some spears in the center here. These like Healy guys are healing a lot, but now I've prevented them from being able to regenerate vigor, which is like one of the most powerful parts of bringing spearmen to the fight. Because when you throw javelins, people can't regenerate their vigor or their fortitude anymore, not vigor. Vigor is the purple stuff. Purple is basically mana, and every unit has like a certain amount of mana, a certain amount of abilities they can do. Super, super straightforward stuff. The game explains it all as you play.
Lord von Kempten, my name is Theodoric von Eichenberg. I have come to...
Sadly, we've no time for pleasantries, Lord Theodoric. There are too many trespassers on my land, and I intend to do something about that. Are you joining me?
Aye. Let us teach these interlopers a lesson in chivalry.
Alright, so we managed to pick up the hunting falcon ring. Let's take a moment to get everyone healed up. I think a couple of my guys took a little bit of damage. Most notably these axemen. I prefer units that don't take damage, I'm going to be honest with you. Like these guys are really, really good at tanking. I like tanky units. It's kind of like my ideal way to play. So I probably won't really be making much use of the axemen unit again. And it's relatively encouraged for you to go exploring. Like if I were to go and explore this keep right now, there's like a good chance that maybe there's like an item hiding up here. Like let me go ahead and check that out, because sometimes that has like turned out well for me the few times that I've done it. Okay, the one time that I pointed out there was like no secret hidden item here. But yeah, you'll find like little boost consumable items around the map and stuff as you play. So I just got access to a new unit. This is Reinhardt. He's heavy infantry. He can provoke, he can do all sorts of stuff. What's his ability? What does he do? I don't know what he does. I think he's just heavy infantry, basically. Alright, we're coming up here for the final confrontation. So, it'll take a little bit of micro... We're already playing on normal, it's not going to take that much work. So we got some elite spearmen. Let's get these units to move around the side. We're going to go ahead and drop a defensive flag with a heal. Nice and early into the fight. What does Reinhardt do? He provokes. Okay, that's cool. So he can force units to fight him, which is really, really damn helpful. Let's do some AoE again. My spearmen are almost out of... I don't know what it's called, but whatever this yellow bar is, you want to take your spearmen out of the fight and then charge them back in. Because it literally makes them 3 times as effective to not have them do this. Go ahead and target the hero and then use your retribution ability. This will massively reduce his ability. Let's go ahead and place a heal right there, healing everyone. Go ahead and provoke these boys. Oh, he's trying to charge through. My spearmen, a little bit hurt. Let's get those spears out of there. We got reinforcements coming in. Let's go ahead and intercept them. Those units will charge each other. Go ahead and charge their spearmen. Get my archers on the spearmen. He's trying to retreat to a safe location. Let's not chase him there. That would be foolish. Let's group. Oh, my spearmen are taking a little bit too much damage. I don't like that. Oh, let's get off that. There's a AoE damage thing. Let's place a defensive flag. And then a heal. My spearmen can come up and throw spears at these guys. Chunk. Now they can't regenerate. At least one hero must survive. Okay, so I need to eliminate their camp. Go ahead and provoke him. Oh! He threw a bomb. Watch out. Charge? No charge. Alright. Focus fire these healers. Ooh, that's an explosion. Who has axes? I guess I used all my axes. Oh, watch out. He's charging. I like that it shows you the vector targeting of enemy units. Like it's like, oh, big bad thing is happening, run away. It's like a fairly straightforward gameplay style that a lot of games use. I should use this ability. Give him the old stun. Oh, so his retribution ability gives him 20% bonus fortitude for some time. Oh, watch out, don't get charged. Okay, we're holding the line. Did he like light this whole field? He's like telling us to burn. I don't understand. He's like, I'll burn, fools, burn. Okay, buddy, that's what you want. We got this in the bag. Owie. Okay, he's retreating again. Let's go ahead and get reorganized. All right, a nice little heal. Oh, watch out. Let's get into position. Volley here. Oh, that was not the plan. Okay, things are going a little crazy here. This is unit control gone mad. Get those spearmen out of there. You taunt these guys. My archers are under threat. Let's kind of retreat them around. My spearmen should be able to handle that, so you come back into fight. Throw spears to stun him. Oh, that doesn't work on him. Oh, it doesn't work on him. Gotta watch out. We need to get everybody clumped up for the big heal that I'm planning. Defensive flag, big heal. Ooh, watch out. Good charge and a taunt. We need to get people out of these purple circles because that's healing them. It's an important mechanic for us to keep track of. Go ahead and throw axes at this dude. Oh, spearmen charging my archers in the back. Retreat. You go deal with that. Okay, let's get everyone clumped up for a heal. Oh, I didn't have enough fortitude or vigor. So I don't understand what I'm supposed to do here. I think I'm doing the right thing, right? I just slowly whittle him down. Let's pull you out of combat for a minute so you can get healed up. Let's pull you out of combat. Let's send you back to heal. Oh wait, no, he's willing to die now, so let's stay. I'm gonna pull my heavy infantry out of the fight if I can. Let me stun these guys real quick. Oof, yeah, we're taking a lot more damage than I'm used to. It just goes to show you that the game is getting harder. Boom, get those heals in. It's gonna buy us a little bit of time. Oh, I've never lost a unit! Retreat. Kill these archers for me, big ol' Reinhardt. Dodge that. Awesome, we got the kill. Not without difficulty. That was actually a reasonably challenging fight. Like, there was a decent amount of micro I needed to do there.
The captain has fallen! Retreat! Retreat, you fools!
Looks like that was most of them, Lord Theodoric. And what a fine hiding we gave them. Ha!
It was an honor to charge into battle by your side, my lord.
Alas, many of the villains fled into the hills and forests. Upon my word, we would be remiss to let them escape.
Worry not. My men will see to them, knightly brothers. Heroes such as you, Lord, deserve to be applauded. So we will feast in your honor.
But yeah, there you go. That's a mission of the Valiant. It took me about 37 minutes to do that mission. That's a pretty reasonable mission time. Most of the other missions took me 25 to 30 minutes. So like, you know, there's a good potentially, depending on how many times you replay the missions and you do the challenges and stuff like that, there's a really good amount of content here for this game. I will give you like a slight warning is like the first 2 missions of the campaign are like moderately railroady and boring, but it definitely feels like things open up and there's a whole like presentation with voiceover. This is really cute. It kind of reminds me of Age of Empires, but I'm going to go ahead and skip that just so I can show you guys a little bit more. So like let's say we went into Winter's Fury here, so now I can go back and I can replay that mission and I could be like, oh, survival experience, you earn experience points for not losing any health points with your hero during the mission. So I could replay that and try to not actually take damage on my heroes, or I could replay it and try to get all 4 of the gear. And similarly, I only got 3 out of the 4 gear here, but I got all the gear in this mission. So there's always going to be kind of like little hidden stuff, little things you can do. You can disable out of combat fortitude regeneration. You can get no replenishment available on the mission. You're only allowed hero squads, and you could play it on hard mode. Like there's a lot of replayability of the single player campaign if you're into that kind of thing. If you go just blast through the campaign on like a moderate difficulty, you probably will get your money's worth. I'm trying to remember how much this game is actually costs. I think it's 10% off for launch and it usually costs like €40. But there's like a decent RTS game here that I would super encourage you guys to at least consider if you're at all an RTS fan. But like since we finished that mission now, if I go into the next mission, we will have available new heroes, new abilities, and all sorts of cool stuff. So it's just you know, I don't know, it kind of, it tickles that little bit of the brain that I enjoy, you know, like heroic assault. After assaulting an enemy, Theodoric restores 25 fortitude to all friendly squads around him. Now, I don't know what assault means. I think that's when units charge. The game, it doesn't have a perfect tutorial. It doesn't tell you exactly what everything does, but it does a reasonable job. Oh, I get to choose which heroes I can bring? Oh, that's really cool. Okay, so not only do you get to pick what units you bring, you choose which heroes you bring, and I can be like, okay, I want to bring these guys, and I'll bring you two. All right. That's pretty neat. I like that. That's cool. So if there's like a hero you don't particularly care about, or maybe you don't like his abilities, or you're waiting to level him up, you could just be like, I'm not bringing you. But yeah, I'm going to take like Heroic Assault and then Tenacious Retribution. So this, whenever he uses Retribution, he'll gain Fortitude. And I went down the defensive line here. And the basic idea here is I'm trying to keep my allies alive, right? I'll have the Banner of Fraternity, level 2, that'll cleanse all harmful effects. And then the Fortifying Retribution. Every time I use Retribution, we'll give 25% bonus Fortitude to every squad around him. And then all banners will allow each affected friendly squad to regain Fortitude equal to 25% of the damage the squad deals. So basically, this is all about keeping your squads alive. Yeah, and that's basically the game. There's just a whole bunch of missions. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff. There is a survival gameplay mode where you are in control of a single squad. That's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick look at Valiant. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.